What if the most beautiful city on Earth wasn't just beautiful by chance? What if its legendary charm was, in fact, a masterclass in deliberate design? There are cities that capture your attention. And then there is Paris, a place that doesn't just impress, it perfects. From its magnificent avenues to the whisper of its ancient stones, Paris unfolds like a carefully crafted story, each chapter revealing another layer of its unique allure. This isn't the beauty of accident, it's the profound elegance born from centuries of intention. Today, we're going beyond the postcards to uncover how Paris became the undisputed global standard for beauty, art, and refinement. A journey that reveals why some places don't just exist, they are designed to be timeless. Before the glittering lights and fashion houses, Paris was a very different place. Imagine a medieval stronghold, a gritty labyrinth of narrow streets, wooden houses, and fortified walls. Life was hard, survival was paramount, and beauty, if it existed, was often a fleeting byproduct of necessity. But then, something shifted. Under a succession of powerful monarchs, the destiny of Paris began to change. These weren't just kings, they were visionaries who saw beyond the practicalities of a fortress city. They saw a canvas, an opportunity to build not just a capital, but a monument. Think of the Louvre, for instance. What started as a medieval fortress evolved, through royal decree, into one of the most magnificent palaces in the world, and eventually, the greatest museum. Each brick, each archway, each new wing added by successive kings like Francis I and Louis XIV wasn't merely about expanding a building. It was about projecting power, culture, and an unwavering commitment to grandeur. They invested in artists, architects, and thinkers, understanding that a truly great city needed more than just strong walls. This royal ambition extended far beyond palace walls. Take a stroll through Paris today, and you'll notice the incredible symmetry of its boulevards, the elegant squares, the fountains that seem to tell stories. While many of these grand avenues and open spaces were later refined, the initial spark for order and aesthetic harmony came from the early royal planners. They began to impose a sense of logic and beauty onto the chaotic medieval layout. They funded the development of industries like tapestry weaving and porcelain production, fostering an environment where craftsmanship became an art form. They established academies for painting, sculpture, music, and literature, ensuring that Paris wasn't just a political center, but a cultural beacon. Paris, therefore, wasn't built merely to house people or defend a kingdom. It was built to reflect a specific ideal, an ideal of elegance, of refined taste, of a lifestyle where beauty was not a luxury, but an inherent quality. Every royal decision, from commissioning a new painting to laying out a garden, contributed to this singular vision. They weren't just constructing buildings, they were sculpting an identity, brick by magnificent brick. This deliberate pursuit of grace, orchestrated by kings, laid the bedrock for everything Paris would later become, establishing elegance as its defining and most enduring characteristic. Then came the storm. The year 1789 didn't just mark a new calendar year. It detonated a revolution that shook France, and indeed the world, to its core. The streets that kings had painstakingly designed for grandeur now echoed with the cries of liberty, equality, and fraternity. The guillotine rose in squares, and ancient institutions crumbled. One might expect such profound chaos to unravel the very fabric of Parisian beauty, to reduce it back to mere functionality. But Paris, in its own extraordinary way, did something truly remarkable. It didn't just survive the revolution. It transformed the chaos into a fertile ground for culture, proving that its elegance wasn't fragile but adaptive, an intrinsic part of its spirit. Out of the unrest and political upheaval, an incredible wave of innovation swept through the city. The old orders were gone, and with them, many of the rigid artistic rules. This newfound freedom ignited an explosion of art movements. Think of the Romantics, rebelling against classical stoicism, pouring raw emotion onto canvas and into verse. Later, artists like the Impressionists would emerge, capturing fleeting moments of light and everyday life, challenging established norms, and forever changing how we see the world. Paris became their laboratory, their muse, their sanctuary. Cafes and salons, once gathering places for nobility, became buzzing hubs for intellectuals, artists, and revolutionaries alike. New ideas were born over cups of coffee, debated passionately and spread like wildfire. Literature, too, flourished with unprecedented vigor. Writers like Victor Hugo, Honoré de Balzac, and later Marcel Proust didn't just write about Paris, they breathed its essence onto their pages. They depicted its social changes, its hidden corners, its triumphs and its struggles, giving voice to a city in constant flux. The printed word became a powerful tool, shaping public opinion and capturing the spirit of a new era. Publishing houses thrived, and bookstores became intellectual sanctuaries. Paris, in this period of reinvention, cemented its reputation not just as a beautiful city, but as the undeniable intellectual heart of Europe. It became a magnet for thinkers, dreamers, and rebels from across the continent and beyond. It was a place where art wasn't just admired but created, where philosophy wasn't just discussed but debated with fervor, where new ideas were not just tolerated but actively sought out. The revolution didn't destroy Paris's elegance, it deepened it, adding layers of intellectual courage and creative audacity. It demonstrated that true elegance wasn't about static perfection, but about the dynamic ability to evolve, to absorb, and to transform even its deepest wounds into profound and lasting beauty. From the crucible of revolution, Paris emerged not just as an intellectual powerhouse, but as the undisputed global capital of luxury. This wasn't merely about expensive goods. It was about refining luxury itself into an art form, a philosophy, a way of life. If elegance was its foundation, then luxury became its exquisite expression. Consider haute couture. In the mid-19th century, figures like Charles Frederick Worth began to revolutionize fashion, moving from anonymous seamstresses to celebrated designers with distinct artistic visions. This wasn't just about making clothes. It was about crafting wearable art, bespoke creations that draped the human form in unparalleled beauty. Paris became the epicenter, establishing an industry built on meticulous craftsmanship, innovative design, and an unwavering commitment to quality. The fashion houses that emerged, like Chanel, Dior, and Yves Saint Laurent, didn't just sell garments. They sold a dream, an identity, a taste of Parisian chic that became synonymous with aspiration worldwide. And then there's the culinary landscape. From the humble bistros to the glittering palaces of gastronomy, Paris transformed dining into an experience, a performance. The concept of the Michelin star, a benchmark for culinary excellence, is deeply rooted in this Parisian tradition. Chefs became artists, their kitchens laboratories of flavor and presentation. Michelin-starred dining in Paris isn't just about eating. It's about savoring, about discovering, about engaging all the senses in a symphony of taste and texture. It elevated food from sustenance to a sublime art form, a testament to Paris's commitment to excellence in every facet of life. Even the city's skyline, a tapestry of mansard roofs and intricate facades, whispers restraint and grace. There's a harmony in its architectural scale, a refusal to reach for ostentatious height, favoring instead elegant proportion and intricate detail. This deliberate choice speaks volumes about Parisian taste, a preference for understated sophistication over flashy grandeur. Of course, no discussion of the Parisian skyline can ignore the Eiffel Tower. When Gustave Eiffel unveiled his Iron Lady for the 1889 World's Fair, it was met with outrage. Critics called it a monstrosity, an eyesore that defiled the classical beauty of the city. Yet, the tower endured, slowly, deliberately, proving its critics wrong. It wasn't built to blend in, it was built to inspire, to symbolize ingenuity and progress. Today, it defines the city, an iconic silhouette that captures the romance and spirit of Paris. Its initial rejection and ultimate triumph perfectly illustrate a profound truth about Parisian elegance. It is not about fleeting trends or even perfection. It is about confidence. It is about a city that trusts its own vision, even when misunderstood, and eventually wins over the world with its audacious, timeless grace. True elegance, Paris teaches us, isn't loud, it simply is. As day turns to dusk, Paris doesn't just transition, it transforms. The city doesn't simply get dark, it begins to glow differently. The soft, golden light that spills from countless lamps isn't harsh or demanding, it's an invitation. It shimmers across the cobblestone streets, dances on the ancient facades, and reflects in the tranquil waters of the Seine. This isn't the flashy neon of other metropolises, demanding your attention with a shout. This is the subtle, magnetic pull of a city that knows its worth, that has earned its admiration, and gently, effortlessly commands respect. Walking along the river as twilight deepens, you don't just see buildings, you see poetry etched in stone and light. The bridges become necklaces of pearls, the monuments stand as silent sentinels of history, and the distant sparkle of the Eiffel Tower performs its nightly ballet. It doesn't scream for your gaze. It simply exists, beautiful and timeless, drawing you in with its quiet majesty. Paris today continues to be a living testament to the principles it has cultivated over centuries. Beauty by design, resilience through reinvention, and luxury as an art form. It's a city that doesn't chase fads or fleeting trends. It consistently reinforces the idea that true value, true sophistication, true luxury is not about being loud or ostentatious. It's about being enduring, about possessing an inherent quality that withstands the test of time, about a quiet confidence that needs no explanation. Paris teaches us that elegance isn't just in the grand gestures, but in the meticulous details, the thoughtful planning, the unwavering commitment to a beautiful existence. It's a lesson in how to live, how to create, and how to appreciate the deliberate art of life itself. It shows us that true luxury is not about what you acquire, but about the timeless experiences you cherish, the quiet confidence you exude, and the enduring beauty you contribute to the world. If you're eager to uncover more secrets behind the world's most fascinating places, make sure to catch our next video popping up on your screen right now.